Hey everyone, today I want to talk about the movie Queer that just came out with Daniel Craig. I saw it a couple days ago and I think it's worth discussing. I want to start a discussion on this film in the comments, so I thought a great way to do that would be to make a video to kind of spark any discourse and thoughts that people may have, which is why I'm uploading this now. So that's just to start the video. I really want people to, give their thoughts. So moving forward, this film, as I've already discussed and written about, is one that is going to have mixed emotions on it. People are going to either love it or hate it. I think that from a technical perspective, this film is Oscar potential, Oscar worthy. The soundtrack is great. The music that they use, the songs that they use, like from popular culture, work very well. And watching the movie is beautiful. They use unique styles of filming in lush, South American slash, you know, North America, but Mexico style, places that the characters are and where the story takes place. So you're never bored watching the movie in terms of what you're just seeing on the screen. I think that's going to be a universal agreement that this film is beautiful. But moving past that, I think this is where the kind of discussion really begins in terms of how people really feel about the movie in terms of plot. In my opinion, the movie meanders. Absolutely, it meanders. There are certain points where I felt like, damn, nothing's really happening. And I, try to check my watch. I'm getting a little restless. I'm moving around in my seat. I'm becoming less and less invested. And I think that's just because the second act of this movie is very slow. I think the first act sets up everything well enough, and the third act is very rewarding and satisfying. But that second act, when they're setting up the third act, is slow, to say the least. But moving on to that third act, it becomes very it's not straightforward. Let's just say that. There's a lot more up to interpretation what's actually happening on the screen, which I really did enjoy. But there's definitely some people who are going to leave feeling confused and frustrated because the movie takes a sharp left turn. Now, this is definitely Luca's probably most surreal film that I've seen, at least, that I can think of off the top of my head in this video. Maybe there are others, sorry, let me know. But I think that people are going to be in for a surprise. And whether they like that surprise is really going to come down to their taste. But from an objective point of view, I think it's can be agreed upon that that second act really it does drag a bit. Now, from acting, I think everyone, including Daniel Craig, does a great job. That was expected. I think when you have actors of this caliber, the names that are in this movie, and this director who can command and has these connections, you knew it was going to be good, and that delivered. So even if some things are meandering, the acting is still solid. There's nothing that it was overly cheesy or just didn't feel like it makes sense. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the film. I think that it's definitely one of the most unique films I've seen in a long time, and it definitely tackles certain things that anyone can really, relate to in terms of romance and connection and things like that. Regardless of who you are as a person. I think there's some universal themes here that can really be you know connected to, which I think is good. I mean, it makes the film open to everyone. If it doesn't have an R rating, it is mature, so come into it with that perspective. But absolutely there are things that everyone can relate to here. Yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts. If I had to give it a rating, it'd probably be like 3.5 out of 5. I think that second act really almost did sink the film for me. But thankfully, the third act finished strong, and that's the last thing you remember. So that's never a bad thing. But I do think that in the future, if they were to, maybe remake this or polish it, they would tighten that second act, maybe make it a little shorter or something like that. But everything else was great. I think people are going to agree that the acting and cinematography and all that, music, all that was great. It was just that second act. And obviously, if you don't like very surreal things and things that are open to interpretation that the doctor might frustrate you as well. But for me personally, I think it delivered. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Once again, 3.5 stars. I do plan on kind of rejuvenating this channel, so I'm going to be linking my letterbox. I'm going to start writing on there. I really want to start doing that as well. So my whole point of doing this is to foster connection and discussion on film. I think is missing substantial discussion with thought behind it. So I'm going to try to do that here. Please leave your thoughts down below, and I look forward to seeing